Hi everyone, this is my first attempt at trying to do a screen capture of a PowerPoint for you so I can narrate and go through the presentation instead of you just looking at the slides. We're going to start out with work points, work axes, and work planes. Not all of you have the software to be able to use this, but understanding the vocabulary and the terms that go with it will be critical to when you can, whether it's Inventor through Autodesk, SolidWorks, SketchUp, Unigraphics, Rhinoceros, any other software that you may have. I'm playing with Fusion 365 right now at home, trying to get a grip of that, as some people are now using that, and the similarities between all of the programs are pretty much interchangeable. Understanding that what a work point is, what a work axis is, and what work planes are is critical to doing two-dimensional shapes to transfer these things into three-dimensional forms. So understanding that a work point is an independent point in space that you start something or you locate something to, so that it has a position on both the X and Y axis. Now we can use this in a three-dimensional form as well and give it a Z depth as well. An axis is a line that extends forever in any two directions. Work axes are useful for locating the center of a hole, or a cylinder, or anything that's around, anything that can be revolved, anything that you see like a cup or a lamp, or anything that is symmetrical and round that may have been turned on a lathe or extruded in that fashion. Revolving around that work axis is the best way to create that point. You can initiate them through an axis by choosing any 2 points on an object. The points may be existing corners or a midpoint, or they may be given dimensions to an offset or someplace in space. In this picture here, what you're seeing is that they're clicking on 2 corners of an existing object to create an axis through there. Work planes, however, are a continuous two-dimensional plane that can be used to establish sketch planes. Assembly constraints, when putting them together, can also be applied to the work planes. To place any work plane on an existing part face, the work plane feature is initiated and the surface is selected. Here you see what's highlighted in blue. They've clicked on that surface. There is now a flat surface extending in all directions. It goes on forever. You'll see that they have a window open that says offset. By clicking, holding, and dragging, you can move that plane in a positive or negative fashion in any given direction of that plane. Okay, so what they're saying here is you initiate the work plane feature, click, hold, and drag the cursor or your mouse on an existing flat part of the surface, identifying the desired offset distance. Or you just click, drag in one direction, release the mouse, and then type in the exact distance that you want. Attaching a sketch plane. Once a work plane is established, a sketch plane must be created on it in order to sketch the geometry that it is that you're wishing to create. Angled work planes, you initiate the work plane, click on an edge, then select a reference surface. Enter the angle. The angle is rotated counterclockwise, or CCW, from the reference surface, and then if you release, you can type in the desired angle. An angled work plane may be established by selecting 2 parallel edges equally as well. By clicking these 2 established edges, you are setting an offset angle to then sketch on. An angled work plane may also be established by selecting 3 corners or midpoints of an existing object. When we talk about tangent work planes, what we're saying is that we are taking a flat plane and creating it tangent to a cylindrical surface around the area where the work plane should be tangent to. You need to identify in the origin folder. The origin folder is going to be over on the left-hand side over in your model browser. There you can find the original plane and that you want the new work plane to be parallel to. In order to do this, you need to initiate a work axis and place it by selecting the cylinder's curved surface. Initiate a work plane and select the work axis in the cylinder. And select a principal plane in the origin folders and enter a reference angle. You can place work planes between work planes to create, this is very helpful for creating symmetrical objects, things that you want to be exactly as they are on one side, on the other side of a specified distance. In order to do this, you create a work plane through 2 parallel edges. You offset a second work plane a given distance away, and then create a third work plane in between the first two by selecting both in any order. Okay, I hope that this has somewhat enlightened you as to what a work point, a work axis, and a work plane is. I hope I've kept it short enough so I haven't bored you to death, and I'll try doing more of these to break up the monotony of you having to click through a slideshow. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for watching. Remember, guys, this is all as new to me as it is to you, but one way or another, we'll all get through this together.